The Renegades ended up biting off more than they can chew as ViCi Gaming take the first map, and it's certainly something we did not predict here on the desk. I don't think anyone would have predicted it like that, right? Nope. Blair is looking oh so happy right now as he's going to probably flow up some Chinese flags, China #1, Whoa. And anything else alongside him.
Too soon, too soon.
Okay, let's be honest here. No one expected that to happen.
No.
But I think both Pimp and I, even Chad was tweeting about it, there's one thing I need to understand what happened with Renegades is why are you going with such early executes on a T side? Like there's most of the times when they had utility and guns and whatnot, they went for an execute with 1:30, 1:25 remaining on the clock, and every single time they got shut down. ViCi Gaming or Chinese teams or Asian teams in general are teams who struggled mid-round on the CT side, where they start overthinking things, they start over-rotating, they start going for, you know, for information plays, so to speak, and they can get caught off. There were no default plays coming out from Renegades at all, and that I think was kind of pretty much seal the deal there. They just got 4 rounds. It's not like they had a bad CT side, to be very honest. They were winning, they were just still like getting rounds, but when you just have 4 rounds on a T side, it's never going to be enough.
There's 2 sides too, right? Because I do think you're right. First of all, I do think Renegades were taking a little bit light on the whole situation. I think, you know, playing the brand of Counter-Strike is often a lack of respect for the opponents. It's often a mentality where you think, all right, we can do our set executes. They work, you know, at a pretty high level. They work against some of the better European teams. But what's mattered the most when you're doing those set executes, it has to be called at the right exact timings, right? You have to have an idea of how the setup is going to be for ViCi Gaming when you go into a set execute, which Renegades had no idea of knowing because they just went straight into the executes. No default, no scouting the map, no, you know, getting a feel for how they play or how aggressive they are. It was just straight into the executes, and I think that's a lack of respect. I think it's, you know, thinking a little bit too lightly of the whole task of beating ViCi Gaming, so to speak. So in that regard, not too good for Renegades. On the other hand, though, ViCi Gaming, they were dealing with it super, super well. It's not like we can take anything away from them. The fact that they were dealing with it, you know, in a team way, I was very disappointed yesterday by, who was it? Cyberzen, who played a horrible brand of Counter-Strike. They weren't playing together. They weren't doing anything, you know, for each other, flashing for each other, backing off each other, anything along those lines. Whereas today, super, super impressed by ViCi Gaming. They're flashing for each other. They're waiting for each other. The retake seems to be on point. The defense seems to be on point. Even the T-side, sorry, had 2... how do you say, like 2 different sides to it. It had the slow variation, which didn't really go too well, and it had the fast one where they picked up the pace and did some of the executes after scouting out the opponents, after figuring out what Renegades were doing. So in that regard, super, super well played to ViCi.
Now, real quick, guys, because we've got to speed this thing along. Inferno, it's going to be the pick of ViCi, a map we know they can play confidently on. And Blair, I'm going to start with you. What do Renegades need to do here?
Right now, what Renegades need to do is stop underestimating their opponents, so to speak, right? This is a map that ViCi are the best on. On the other hand, I think Renegades still have what it takes to pull this one off. What they got to do is figure out how ViCi play. You haven't played this team in quite a while. It was a month back you played. They've obviously done their homework. They've obviously prepped a lot for this tournament. So just figure out what they're doing. And especially on your T side, don't be one-dimensional. You know, figure things out. The thing with Chinese teams, and Inferno, by the way, is a map about rotations. It's a map about utility usage and whatnot. Draw that utility. Try and understand how the rotations are. Try to understand how they're playing. Banana, apartments, whatnot. Get that map control and force ViCi to play your game rather than just falling into their crossfires, because right now, ViCi, everyone's going off when it comes to aim. You don't want to take one-on-one duels, try to make your experience and teamwork work for you.
It's a two-way street. Either Renegades are going to go in here, they're going to treat the respect or the task with the respect needed, and they're going to best out ViCi Gaming, not only on Inferno, but also on the third map. Or they're going to go in here, they're going to be scared, the pressure's going to get to them. Don't forget that 2 of these players have not been in this situation before. Lias and Gratisfaction, 2 new guys to these minor qualifications in terms of being the favorites. So may the nerves get to them? You don't really know. And ViCi Gaming, they seem full of confidence. And if they can play the same level of team play they did on the first map, Renegades have to watch out for them.
Renegades certainly will have to watch out for them. It's do or die. Will ViCi be able to close this out 2-0? The unexpected can always happen when it comes to Counter-Strike. But what isn't unexpected is us going back to Hugo and Harry to take you through the rest of these games.
Yeah, thank you very much, James. We just saw ViCi move 1-0 up in this series after an unexpected win over on Mirage. Heading into Inferno, their map pick. Are ViCi going to continue to keep this momentum up? And will Renegades finally wake up and start to sharpen the server?
Well, I don't know. I feel like ViCi have a chance to 2-0 this series, right? We questioned before the game, what ViCi do we get? Do we get that first game, the first day ViCi, who fell 16-8 over on this map of Inferno to a team they definitely should have beaten, that being Gosu? Or do Do we get second day ViCi where they bounce back and we're able to destroy Gosu in that best of 3? Well, right now, Harry, it's looking like that second day ViCi. In fact, third day ViCi, they're improving as each day comes, as we get into their T side of their map pick, where you'd assume they were somewhat prepared. They looked very good over a Mirage, had a lot of nice executes, so I'm excited to see what they've got for us here. It's Renegades with 3 players up on A, but ViCi already putting the pressure very early on. That's going to force a rotate from Azza, who will move through the spawn. Now, it is only early pressure, so he needs to be aware that he needs to consider the fact this could be a late B play, because that bomb's already coming back through spawn and looking like it will be routing back towards the banana. Plenty of utility for this B site as well, and Jacob's going to be calling for the help.
Cleanup crew looks to come through in the form of Azza. He's already rotated around and now set up in CT, but a lot of this going to fall onto Jacob. In fact, pretty much all of this going to fall onto the shoulders of the Norwegian. He gets bested. Kaze on that entry with the CZ. Renegades trying to boost up JKS, but Zoking shuts him down, and ViCi 5-on-3 in this post plant. They've had a lot of time to get comfortable. Zoking continuing this good form, but Azza might have just saved the day. A quick double out from the ruins. Another kill coming through from Gratisfaction, and that's the round. Renegades gonna hop on that bomb. Oh, Renegades able to recover. Azza and Gratisfaction somehow, some way, get them back into what was a 2-on-5.
Those are some seriously clean shots, considering that ViCi had a 5-on-3 lockdown early on. Damn good work from Renegades to get back into that round, and it's straight away a tactical timeout. They did this a little bit over on Mirage when they called them after round wins. It may even be a tech, but no, it's looking like a tactical, and this is interesting to see from Renegades, considering they are a round up. That being said, not wanting things to get ahead of them, and they know that they did have trouble with some of the ecos that ViCi threw in back on Mirage. So they want to be prepared for a potential strong setup on the second round. The idea of pulling in a rifle as well for ViCi, if they're going to force buy this one. And yeah, that will be the case. Freeman going to be chucked over an AK. He had a brilliant first map as well, so see what he can do moving forward. Pistols and armor on the majority of players here for ViCi. Advent really having to take the hit there when it comes to buying up. Now Renegades should definitely be aware of the possibility of pulling in this AK for the second round. It will be going straight towards the apartments, assisted by the entirety of this T side. Renegades looking to try and pressure Banana early on, but with their smokes running dry, they will already fall back. Leave JKS just spotting at the wall there, allowing for this quad setup. And JKS has a Molotov to delay a push and call for that rotate if need be. It seems that ViCi, similar start to the pistol round, they establish deep mid control. They go towards those apartments, only to back off and late hit this B site. Now, if they get the entry off the back of this AK going in first, and JKS cannot throw down his Molotov in time, this could be a real problem when it comes to the B site being open for the taking.
Flash over, JKS spots the players aggressing up, but thus far they've only seen pistols. They don't know about this solitary rifle over on Freeman. I always love how ViCi approach these second round force buys. They're throwing that one hero AK onto one man. We've seen it yield results for them in the past, and they're looking to try and do that once again. Bomb left back on Banana, while the rest of ViCi turning their head to the top of mid, get control of this portion of the map, and they get it for free, so that's now got them interested. They start to pull on in, and Freeman, there's that hero AK, able to open up. Now they spot Gratisfaction. Liaz, ooh, gonna get his head stood on, and from down in the pit, pistols out, he's fighting back. Gratisfaction here to help out, and it's the two newer boys for Renegades doing all the work in that round there. That will be the second round cemented, so that one AK, well, it was good to find the opener. Didn't get anything else done. Great stuff from Liaz to survive for this long, just being such a nuisance, buying so much time, allows Gratisfaction to double peek into that man at long while they're so focused on trying to deal with Liaz down in the pit. That was just the one AK purchased out for ViCi, so now they do have a buy into this one. And Once more, gonna make it a priority to try and maintain control of the apartments. Now looking to try and challenge for top mid.
Renegades again peering down Banana. They've got those deep smokes that keep ViCi out of this early round. That's why they have been going for this heavy early mid control. ViCi currently not wanting to fight back against this Banana control. That might come later, but for now it's a fast long play. Through the Molotov as well, that will get one kill. And actually as his flames burn Zoking from the further damage he did with his rifle. A good 2-for-1 for Renegades, and Liaz even holding the pit as well. Renegades now sitting in a 4-on-2, and while Gratisfaction gets overwhelmed by the pistol because Liaz was smoked off in the pit, it doesn't matter too much. ViCi are contained within the bomb site. The nade missing, but the Molotov lands well, and that forces Kaze out into the open, dead before he saw a player, and Liaz even finds his third. Nice work in that back of the pit. Renegades able to find their third round on this CT side. ViCi, they may have found the entries to wrap themselves into the bomb site, but by that point they were already in a 2-on-4. And another buy already coming through. They are confident clearly on this T side. They did get that bomb plant to go for it, but means the utility will be a real problem. And when you want to contest that early Banana control that we have not seen ViCi yet do, you're going to need those nades. You're going to need those Molotovs to force the peaks away from the top of car. And ViCi just don't have that. So they can't fight B early round, or at least they shouldn't. And we even have that AWP out for Gratisfaction as well into this first half. He's going to be peeking down middle.
Here's the problem though, right? We thought about that ViCi performance from day one, if you recall, when they go toe-to-toe with Gosu on this map. They get off to a very, very slow T-side start. It wasn't until the CT side they were able to recover, and they can't afford to have that happen here. They can't let Renegades build back into this, and that's exactly what's happening right now. Liaz from down in the pit, he has been a force to be reckoned with. Kaze and Orman, all that remain, and now it is just Orman thrust into this 1v4 clutch. He's not going to be ready for JKS. Aggressive down through Banana. Renegades moving up 4-0 off the bat. No money left for ViCi in this round, so just going to be a partial investment. And yeah, I mean, for me, if ViCi want to win this series, they have to do it here on Inferno. I think if this goes to train, Renegades have turned this around, right? Because at that point, especially if it continues in such a dominant fashion, we're already seeing Liaz getting a much-needed confidence boost, sitting top of the board right now, 9-1. Gratisfaction, he's been fantastic inside of this A-bomb site on the AWP. And actually, I'm finding this CT side set up very interesting from Renegades, electing to have this 3-man B hold and relying on Liaz and Grat to hold down A. Freeman has been able to find the opener, but it's promptly traded by Jacob. ViCi going to try and head back towards this A-bomb site, but they haven't had any joy at this portion of the map.
Oh, big kill from Gratisfaction, but he turns around after it. No teammate to defend him. Liaz flashing out a high, and he will be able to drop that bomb. One more player left up, and while Orman's got himself an AWP, he's going to opt to take the CZ at close range. Good decision. He even gets the kill as well. Got to double back to grab that bomb, and this gives him a chance to, shuffle back, go towards the apartments, go towards B. However, it's a double peek on long that will catch him out, and Jacob there at the right place, right time. Renegades 5-0 start. Big round from Jacob as well, locking down that B site rush. First time we've seen ViCi do that. Now sitting at a 5-0, this is definitely a nice change from Renegades, considering they lost that previous map. Looking far more comfortable here, more than anything. Now we have that AWP for the T side, so things can certainly slow down for ViCi. Kaze got to deal with this window peek. Gratisfaction through the molly, runs right back, wants nothing to do with it. And Liaz even getting tagged down as well through the wall as he tries to play the apartments. He will not go back in for seconds. Renegades still toying with the idea of getting aggressive down B, and JKS is left with the smoke to do that. Now it's already covered off right now, and his teammate has gone for the rotate. Again, there's plenty of time left in the round for JKS to use his smoke, and he doesn't want to necessarily use it to take bottom Banana. He wants to hold onto it until the push comes through, but it might not, because ViCi have sped up the pace towards mid. Hopping away is Gratisfaction. His bomb still dropped down ramp as well, so ViCi, they love to establish early control towards A, and they continually get Renegades to go for this four-man stack, but the question is, will they ever be able to get rid of JKS, or will he continue to be a nuisance here, delaying this B push?
Not proven to be too much of a nuisance just yet, but does drop that smoke over toward the top of Banana. That holds them off the angle for now. ViCi trying to get back out towards this A-bomb site, and this time as they get set up to go in, Renegades still maintaining this three-man setup over inside of B as they rotate another man back round. This leaves Liaz and Azza this time around. He doesn't have Gratisfaction with him as usual, but different teammate, same story as Azza and Liaz able to mop up absolutely everybody. ViCi, only one man remains, and that's Kaze. He's trying to hold on to this AWP. A 6-0 lead now for Renegades.
And it's such a heroic play from Azza and Liaz. The crazy part about that is Renegades had the wrong read completely, right? And the reason being is ViCi have been conditioning this team since the start of the map. They've every round been taking top mid, forcing Renegades within the bomb site, and then rotating B with later in the round. And you know, now Renegades, we go into a rifle round where that actually happens, and they rotate towards B. They put pressure on, and we see Renegades triple stack that site, not expecting the A play at all, thinking, okay, they've done this 5 times before, they're going to do it again, but no, it's anything but. It's ViCi pushing back towards that A site and, well, running into their death.
And I'm liking the CT side setup right now from Renegades. I mean, you know, often we see you set up your AWP over on Banana, then you play 4 players inside of the A bomb site. That's how we see most teams elect to play it. And that was somewhat what Renegades were doing early on, right? You had Jacob on Banana on his own, just playing for the information. He's got utility to drop that. And then they rotate players around, so they're actually opting to play the heavier site as this B-bomb site. And I mean, it's working brilliantly for them right now. Scariest part for me is ViCi have actually been able to find the opener in 3 of these rounds thus far. The trades rather, have been perfect this time around from Renegades.
A lot of that is ViCi just finding an opener up on A when they go for this late play, and Liaz just locking down the pit. He's been doing that round after round. He might be tasked with it again. This AWP is up in the apartments, a difficult position to typically run the AWP to fight towards pit without that support. So Kaze is just going to hold on for the repeak. No kills gifted up here by the Renegades. Rest of this T side setting up outside of B right now. Only 2 players here. The difference being is Renegades have switched things up from playing this Banana to now going extremely passive. And while this does give them less information, it gives them a lot more utility. So 2 Molotovs and a smoke left up on the CT side, meaning that once ViCi go for this execute, they're going to have to run through the fire and flames.
All it takes is for JKS and Jacob to double up these mollies, and suddenly you're in a world of hurt. That smoke missing is really going to hurt ViCi as well. And thankfully, they do still have 2 on Freeman and Orman, and they're going to back away from the top of mid, rotating Orman back. He is one of these smokes, so you kind of need him here, because once that you are down, start to dissipate. 3 players at the B-bomb site now, 4 Renegades, and JKS going to stand and deliver. 5 seconds, there's just no time. They have to get this bomb down now, and one man could deny. Oh, Gratisfaction misses that shot, and now there's a chance for ViCi here, where really there should not have been. Had Grat found that kill, it would have been a very different round. Renegades would have been on to a 7th, but now we see Azza and Liaz in this 2-on-2. They were the heroes over on A just rounds ago. Now they have to show they can do it. Under the pressure in the retake on the clock, the time ticking down against Azza here. He spots out the first man. Freeman just waiting for this contact, playing the bait and switch, and they double peek into him. ViCi managing to find their first round on the board.
And that's so unfortunate for Gratisfaction as well. He could have actually isolated the bomb planter, but his wide peek to try and catch off a potential AWPer at Newbox actually faced him all the way to the player by the fountain. That was Kaze finding the kill, and yeah, ViCi are able to convert the post plant, so nice round from them, finally actually getting something done on this T side. It's been a long time coming. But Renegades still have money for the buy. Now, only 1 more buy here. So there's a chance ViCi could even double down and find 2 in a row and then break the money of these Aussies. And kick them while they're down, and we could be seeing this game start to get a little bit closer. That's what we want. That being said, definitely a good confidence booster for Renegades to find a far more dominant start to this map after losing out on their map pick. That was the biggest surprise, and It could be pieced back up into this one for both sides. ViCi not wanting to get reset here, considering how close down to the wire that previous round came.
Whoop. Not quite for Gratisfaction. Renegades going to go back to this banana control setup, trying to take control of this portion of the map early. This time they leave JKS over here, rotate Jacob away, and this does free up the extra man to hold the A-bomb set along with the rest of the gang. Shot fired from Gratisfaction as tries to land some chip damage on the wall bang. Now, it obviously doesn't work out, and this will be top mid control secured for ViCi. Let's hope this doesn't lull them into a false sense of security, though. 4 players in this A-bomb site for Renegades. Certainly not where you want to find yourself if you are ViCi. They've had trouble taking A when there's only been 2 guys here.
Ooh. Nice shot. That's going to open up the B-Rap as well. The long player dead here for Gratisfaction with 30 seconds left up. There's only one man here to stop it. The other 2 teammates far too committed to that A site, trying re-aggression on short. And I think they've started to work this out. The footsteps are going to be heard, and JKS drops the bomb. 20 seconds, but time doesn't matter. All these headshots do. JKS finding both players as Ormond's come on this long wrap. Now he's doubled back instead of flanking Ruins, where JKS would expect. Ormond's gone back to grab the bomb, but the flank is already in play, and Az is going to be able to find him from the back lines. Renegades finding the reset. 7-1 here on the CT side. Their dominance not letting up on Inferno. And the money has been broken for ViCi once again. They having a nice try in that 3-on-3 to actually wrap B. A good call the Renegades were not on top of initially, but JKS absolutely saving this B bomb site from destruction.
Just like that, that's the reset onto ViCi. So a chance for Renegades to continue to build up such a massive lead. Gratisfaction feeling very comfortable in taking these peaks. Knows that it's only going to be pistols for ViCi in this round. What a recovery it's been from Renegades. You know, you think back to Mirage, they get 11 forward in the half. They try to come back, and it does get denied here on Inferno. The map pick of ViCi Gaming, by the way. They're looking to send a bit of a message. They're out for revenge, as they will be securing this 8th round and keeping it very clean at that. We saw some of these anti-eco rounds from Renegades back on Mirage get down on the wire, get a bit uncomfortable. But there's no love for ViCi Gaming in this round. Will be this 8-1 lead secured. They're looking to try and take us through to a 3rd map. Obviously, if we do manage to get there, which at this point in time, I think it's fair to say, looks possible. That will be trade.
Yeah, this is a polar opposite ViCi to what we saw in that previous game, right? We're seeing far more individual efforts than the previous. Top B control is taken, but at a cost of almost made that, yeah, definitely 2 players. Jacob throws a nade over the roof of the building and going to be able to find Avven with it, trying to escape the wrath of JKS with that AK. ViCi again stuck in another one of these awkward situations. 5-on-2 now as Jacob catches his 2nd kill of the round. And one by one, ViCi walk into the chopping block. Renegades sharpen their axe here as 1:10 left on the clock for ViCi to try and get something done. They do force Jacob back, and that smoke might be able to cover the CT spawn, giving more room to ViCi to isolate the player on the site, but Jacob going to continue to spray through. First player spotted. JKS has no need for a rotation, but there's a kill from Ormond. A chance presented, but in a 1-on-5, Jacob's just going to strafe out and find his 3rd. This is an absolute domination from Renegades. Polar opposite of that previous map.
That doesn't even begin to describe it. I mean, Renegades looking like a different team at this point in time. And I mean, really have to say that a lot of this coming on the back of a huge recovery individually from Liaz, having such a good time of things over in the A bomb site. For me, Azza and Gratisfaction really finding their footing here as well. JKS and Jacob obviously did have pretty good performances back on Mirage. They're keeping those going here. And Liaz padding those stats even more. Renegades building this confidence up, and this is where they're going to be most deadly. They just push into this anti-eco round. They take those fights with the rifles. They win it out convincingly, and this is what we needed to see. We needed to see a confident Renegades in the server. We're finally getting to see that, much to the dismay of ViCi. Their T-side really is where they face a lot of the problems on this map. You know, you think back to their opening day loss versus Gosu. Obviously, they got 12-3'd in the half while they were playing over on the T side. They were able to pull it back to a reasonably respectable 16-12, but they still lost.
Oh.
Ooh. Okay, the A players that we've given so much credit, they both go down. Az is able to trade back, and he's looking for a bit more. Anytime that Renegades lose something somewhere, you can count on someone to step up, trade things back, and Az has certainly gone above and beyond now at this A bomb site. He's made this round possible, and now it falls to Jacob and JKS trying to play off one another into the one-on-one as JKS falters, but Advent's been brought down low. Jacob's there to deal the killing blow, and Renegades 11-1.
What a frantic round in those apartments. I mean, a wallbang kill to start, even Orman coming up the stairs as well, but it's Azza saving the day here for Renegades. Both kills, catches the mid push as well. That was very questionable considering ViCi had so much utility in that 3-on-3. They could have easily flashed a player through the smoke. They could have gone together. At least it changed after that first player went down. They double peaked Azza, but that was definitely a winnable round. When you get into that situation where you have that 3-on-3, you don't have to necessarily instantly trade every kill. You can try and wait for Renegades to settle back into a 2-1 setup. Far better odds of winning that round. But this time, quick mid player. Oh, that nade is going to hit a player, the smoke, making it very clear to Gratisfaction that these players are up the top of middle, and luckily enough, they'll fall back as well as him. That bomb in the apartments for the time being on the back of Orman, setting up this app smoke. Bait setup on long is going to be the main problem here. If ViCi do choose to challenge it, they will. Azza, he's going to be here on the corner. They don't check it, and that's a 1-for-1. A lot of info gained off the back of it. Now, this bomb hasn't come out of the apartments just yet, but they have started to wrap CT. In the meantime, JKS has pushed down Banana, and he might be able to find Kaze.
Advent's the real unknown quantity. They didn't spot him sneak into CT. Maybe he can find something. And oh, JKS gets caught going down Banana. Now Advent comes in on this pincer. It's only good for one, but he spots that both players are located over here towards A. That bomb tries to head back to the B bomb site. But things could get dire here for ViCi. This round was looking recoverable. Imagine that they could have got back into it after Advent gets the information, spots those players. Norman able to deal with Gratisfaction over in the top of mid. They go wandering into this B bomb site. There's no smoke for the cross. So as Liaz hears that flash, he's going to be given free reign and the chance to find them, but they've already made it into the bomb site. And now once more, Liaz has to step up, has to stand and deliver for Renegades. He's been looking so good thus far. There's another. Liaz into the one-on-one. Orman repositioning into the ruins. The bomb planted for Banana. Liaz hasn't checked this portion of the map, so in the back of his head, might have to consider it, but no. Orman peeks out. Liaz in the 1v2. He stands, he delivers, and once more, give that man a pat on the back, Renegades. He's done it for you. 3 kills for him in that round. ViCi gets schooled in the retake.
Yeah, what a sick clutch from Liaz there. Timing almost catches the better of him as well, as he's just started to rotate off of B as ViCi pushed into that site, but the flash gave it away. Without that, that's almost definitely a ViCi round. They have way more time to get into post plants. And, you know, definitely over-facing there in that 2-on-1, taking fights they didn't really need to. Not necessarily the second player, but the first man behind the fountain. He could have just hidden.
Yeah, and I made the comment that maybe Liaz could have had to consider he's down Banana, but obviously he's spotted them cross, and he was aware that the man over on the Nubox wasn't the one whom planted the bomb, so he actually had that narrowed down. He knew exactly where Orman was coming from. Still a huge clutch nonetheless. So much momentum. What a recovery from Renegades. The confidence, you can just see it's built up now. Even the confidence to go for that, right? You think back to Mirage, they looked scared even if it was a 3-on-3 in a retake, let alone being a man down. Yeah, the scoreline shows exactly that. ViCi. Old habits die hard as they try and retake this A bomb site. They're gonna go and get control of top mid. Renegades have been fine giving this up. ViCi have had this portion of the map almost every single round. They just haven't been able to do anything with it. This time, bit of a different play as that smoke falls close to the pit. That forces Liaz into these close fights. As a quick double, and uh-oh, it's all fallen apart once again. Freeman caught out in the open, and wherever they go, they run into Renegades, they run into that stack over in the A-bomb site this time around, and they get annihilated.
Yeah, Az has just been so good alongside Liaz this game. 3 kills for him there. Liaz dropping the bomb initially as well, and even Gratisfaction finding a kill with the AWP. No deaths for Renegades in that 14th round, and no losses either. Only 1 round to ViCi in this entire half. This is not what we're expecting after that stomping game on Mirage for them. But what a recovery from Renegades, and with that third map being trained as well, this definitely sets them up well. Fast play at the top of B. Advent, he's going to go straight in and actually running around the Molotov. He finds himself a second kill. Can trade out to one of these guns as well, and the smoke cuts off at Azza, but he might be able to spray through it. It's actually the flashbang in, and he might be able to cut off this bomb as well, dropping it on Orman. The trade is there from Zoking, and now down a man are Renegades, with still 1 player left to rotate. Gratisfaction smoked off in the ruins. Oh, that was so close. Far too close. Advent is going to get the hell out of there. There's nothing to do with this one as Freeman even gets tagged up. And this retake is on, but it won't be easy.
Flash over Gratisfaction. Oh, Freeman. Just caught there by the AWP over on Renegades. We're into this 2-on-2, and now you certainly do believe in the Renegades roster. Just Zoking remains, and Gratisfaction. Absolutely everybody just ruined, and that will be a 14-1 half for the Renegades. My word, what a recovery, what a different pace, what a different team it almost looks like in comparison to Mirage. Obviously, ViCi's sitting 1-0 in the series right now. Renegades certainly look to have bought the heat, bought the pain here on Inferno. They're trying to take us through the train. Find out if they do so after the break. One phrase might be uttered to describe that first half from Renegades, and that is, yeah, the boys. They sit up 14-1, Hugo. They're feeling very good here in map number 2. You think about the decimation over in the first map, it has been one hell of a recovery as they sit just 2 rounds away from closing out this second map.
And that's why you have to stick with them, Harry, because a wise man once said, if you can't handle me at my know the boys,
you go, you've nailed
you
this,
don't deserve me at my yeah the boys. We got there in the end. Fast mid-play here from ViCi. Armor up on most of these players as well, and actually kills coming through. Orman and Freeman both lighting up the scoreboard. It's JKS and Azza to try and keep things alive, but ViCi, you don't typically see CTs run all the way down the ramp into the spawn, but they have no fear. It's now JKS left alone, and he's got to clutch it out.
It's a tall ask here. It's Mr. Savage. A 1v3 required, and Kaze will delete him. No chance for Renegades in that round. ViCi will find the pistol, and important to note, this is their first pistol round in the series thus far. Renegades currently being 3 for 3. That title is going to get stripped away from them. Bit of an unfortunate timing to finally drop your flawless pistol round streak, because had they won that, this map would have most assuredly been theirs.
Yeah, this would have been over. I mean, they would have had a full buy, and it would have been 15-1, so about as good as you can get for Renegades. That being said, I don't think the pistol round loss should worry them all too much. Definitely don't want to give ViCi too much room, though. As you said, 3 rounds on Mirage, T side of Inferno when they first faced Gosu on this map, and still brought it back to a fairly reasonable scoreline. Far more strong on the CT side. This team. We saw their nice setups over on that previous one as well. It was largely the reason they were able to get their win with the first 11-4 half on this CT side. So let's see what ViCi have got for us, because they can reset going into half number 2. This game is well and truly on. Now, Renegades have just gone for an eco, looking for the 3rd round bye. Smoke in middle and no flashbangs to throw through it. It's actually going to be Jacob just looking for it anyway through the boiler, I think that was, and he'll get picked off.
Nope. Any damage onto Liaz and JKS. Renegades aren't really too sure that they're going to find anything in this round. This is just a Deagle investment. They got the bomb down in the round prior, so they've put something into it. But they're mainly focused on the buy in the next. They know they've got so much room here. They don't have to go for any unnecessary risks. They can mitigate all of that by making sure they've got all the money they need. You've got such a huge buffer. Now, important to note, ViCi obviously had a very troublesome time on this map on their opening day versus Gosu. Team that has since been eliminated. But it was their CT side that was the real shining bastion of hope for ViCi in that series. They were able to pull it back from what was like an 11-4 half all the way to a much more respectable, sorry, a 12-3 half all the way to a respectable 12-16 loss. Issue is they've left themselves an even smaller window for error here. They'll need to take the next 12 consecutively if they want to deny Renegades map point.
Easy, right?
Well, let's see. I mean, if anyone could do something crazy, it would be ViCi. They've been so good at doing the unthinkable, but there's Jacob to already open things up. Kaze through that smoke, gonna get dealt with, and the rotation pulled around from Orman. He's able to take the initial fight, but promptly traded, soaking on the wrap round, and actually he's got eyes on the bomb, but JKS able to trade, and suddenly this round has all but fallen apart for ViCi. Their hopes, their dreams of denying map point to Renegades now fall onto Freeman, and JKS, well, he'll cut him down.
Yeah, very aware of that flank up from the A site, right? They cleared up B. They knew that last player had to come from A, and with CT under control, he expected that mid-wrap. So good round from Renegades. 15 have been taken, and all off the back of the entry kill through the smoke. You hate to see it for ViCi, but it's all coming up. Renegades right now, 15-3. We have a force buy from ViCi to keep this map alive. A couple of rifles, a couple of pistols, and a UMP in between. Far from a good buy here for the CTs. Renegades fully rifled up as well. They'll try and take the top of B immediately, but the smoke is down, keeping them out.
Oh, how's this going to pan out? Zoking holding close. They would have heard the nade Tagger Man. Ooh, JKS not ready for that, so Zoking. That's an AK retrieve. They're building a bit of an arsenal here over on the ViCi side after scavenging that rifle. This buy now suddenly doesn't look all too bad. Renegades with control out in the top of mid. Gratisfactions made the call and let them know he's got this portion of the map almost entirely for free. Kaze takes this peek in, and he's going to come to regret that. Long once again becomes the problem for ViCi as they lose their point man in this position. And now Renegades setting up for the B play. They hear that molly go out towards CT, and as a result, Az has peeked past it, isn't quite able to find anything just yet. Advent from inside the bomb site, good for one. Orman's in with the other. This round might turn sour for Renegades as now it's Liaz in the clutch, and he can't find anything. Zoking up through Banana, completely blindsides him. ViCi will stay afloat for now. A 4th round locked in.
Yeah, road to recovery starting off here, Harry, but it is going to be bumpy. Nice crossfire on the bomb site, and it seemed like that was surely going to come up Renegades, but a couple of clutch kills coming out from Orman and Advent. Now Renegades don't want to get ahead of themselves, don't want to force buy their way to a loss, so it will just be that eco in this round. Pistols, armor on Jacob. ViCi likely finding 5. They're even going to have the money start to build up on the CT side to enable an AWP sooner or later. They can really start things off here for ViCi. Ooh. Mid-burst for Renegades, but with no flashbang, they gotta likely wait for that smoke to fade. Here's Naza walking right up. Zoking waiting for the contact as well. Kaza gets the information, so Zoking's gonna be ready for the peek from Boiler, but ViCi, they may as well play from the side. There's no reason to overextend here. They've even called for a rotate from B, so 4 players up on the A site right now for the Chinese. Maybe reconsidering that rotation, but they will come to regret that as Renegades are still committed with 5 players here. JKS even late playing those apartments. And Renegades are just desperately looking for a deagle pick right now in middle, but nothing being presented, so they've got to start pushing that A site.
They will be allowed to work into these close angles though with the pistols, and this is where they could look to do a little bit of damage. It's this crossfire between Freeman and Zoking that should be able to shut this round down. Freeman actually deciding to take this fight. And now that re-smoke coming in blocks off his angle, and once more this allows those pistols to get that much closer. But yeah, this should just be the mop-up from this point on in. 15 seconds, Renegades really leaving this one down to the wire. And actually they have been able to get to the bomb site, but now Freeman trying to mop things up. The bomb plant is far more than they should have got away with, and ViCi won't let them get away with it. So a 5th round confirmed. For me, the real turning point in this series can be finally when we get to see the AWP over on Kaze. And you know, ViCi, they lose 1 round, they're gone. So, at least in this map, I was wondering if we were going to see the upgrade come through regardless of keeping 5 players alive there, but we don't. Just going to keep the rifles out for the time being. But do be sure to keep your eye out for that AWP. Yet to see one in this second half. Oh, and a much faster play up through Banana. Almost able to catch the players here off guard. These Molotovs and nades doing so much damage. Oh, Renegades. They're the walking wounded at this point in time up at the top of Banana. Not looking too healthy as they try and secure this B-bomb site. 2 smokes, 2 flashbangs. Perfect amount of utility to go for this play, and you imagine that's what the aim was. Smoke for the coffin, smoke for the cross, and then use Jacob to try and flash the rest of the team in. Azza is able to open up. Orman trades 2 back, and an important 2 frags to find at that. A 3-on-3 certainly leaves this possible for ViCi.
Because it was a fast B play, we have all utility left up on this ViCi side. 3 incendiaries for the retake, but they're just taking fights, and they will be losing them. Gratisfaction and JKS finding huge kills and leaving Freeman now in the clutch bomb already half-ticked. and he's got a near insurmountable task ahead of him. The flash in, the fight taken but missed, and Freeman's down to 8 HP with the crossfire enabled for Renegades. It's surely undoable, and that will be it. 16-5 for Renegades. They do eventually close out ViCi's map pick of Inferno, a fairly dominant fashion to bounce back from losing Mirage. And with Train being the final map and Renegades starting to warm up on the server, it does certainly spell troubling waters for ViCi. Find out if they'll be able to come back after the break.